Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome aboard the hemp train of thoughts, that is. Tyler Hemp here, your enthusiastic hemp-entrepreneurial host, here to empower your hemposphere because it's hemportant. Get out your pens and papers, boys and girls. You might want to jot some crucial dates and information down today. And I want to thank you for tuning into HempAware Radio. It's May 9th, 2017, as we're broadcasting this hempisode on the Upper Sacramento River and the Trinity Mountains of Northern California. You may be listening to a recorded version of this. Either way, thank you for your awareness and your time. HempAware Radio is dedicated to putting emphasis on what's most important to you. So I love to ask, what is your dream? What is your purpose? What's your mission? What are you good at? And what are you here to do? No matter what it is that you do, we're here to encourage you to do one thing, hemp. And I sincerely want you to succeed in your business and in your life, especially with the help of hemp. And the purpose of HempAware Radio is to assist you to overcome the challenges of our time. And we focus on many different aspects of the hemp movement and the industry. And today is all about education and celebration and movement. To help me empower your hemposphere, I have very special guests, Nancy Metcalf, marketing campaign manager for Dr. Bronner's Soaps. She not only plays a critical role there at Dr. Bronner's and their marketing efforts, but she's also plays a huge role in the success of Hemp History Week. And I believe she's been in this for many, many years and loves what she does. And we also have Lauren Burlekamp on the line. Lauren is the former national director of Hemp History Week and is also a massive contributor to the hemp and cannabis movement and is greatly involved with Dr. Bronner's marketing and communication efforts and has been very well integrated with helping get their message out there and also teaching about permaculture and seed saving and just preserving this earth and humanity. And so I'm really honored and grateful to have both of these amazing women on the phone. But before we get started, if you have any challenges you're working through with hemp that you need help with, or if there's a specific topic that you'd like us to cover here on HempAware Radio, just send us an email, support@hempaware.com, and we'll do our darndest to make you happy. So anyway, welcome aboard the HempAware train. Nancy and Lauren, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having us today. It's a pleasure to be on the line.
Thanks, Tyler. I really appreciate it. Yep. Thank you.
Awesome. So I'm not sure, maybe Lauren would answer this, considering you were the original director of the Hemp History Week. How was it originally birthed 7 years ago?
Oh, so just to humbly correct the record, so I'm formerly the National Grassroots Events Coordinator, and I only served that role for 2 years. But the original birthing of Hemp History Week, actually, I think Nancy actually would be a better person to answer this awesome question.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lauren. Thanks, Tyler. So Hemp History Week started in 2010. It was an initiative of the HIA and Vote Hemp, as well as founding campaign sponsors Dr. Bronner's, Living Harvest Hemp, Nature's Path Organic, and Nutiva. And the goal of this program was to put together a public education and marketing campaign to be able to distinguish industrial hemp from drug varieties of cannabis, and at the same time renew strong support for the Industrial Hemp Farming Act in Washington, D.C. So over the years, this campaign has really grown in a few varieties of programs that we run as part of the campaign. One of those is a retail component where we engage natural food retailers to include education on hemp alongside the hemp products that are available in stores to really engage consumers in the marketplace to show them that hemp is a healthy and delicious product to incorporate into their everyday lives, not only as a food item, but also very nourishing for the skin as body care. Another aspect of the campaign is the grassroots program. So like all of us on the line here today are so familiar with the various benefits of industrial hemp and have a lot of passion for spreading that education. Hemp History Week was founded and continues to empower and support individuals who are spreading that good word on hemp through an events program that we support with materials. Our sponsors generously send product samples as their inventory allows. And over the years, we actually have grown both the retail program and the grassroots program to have hemp represented in each of the 50 states during Hemp History Week, and more than 1,500. Last year, I think we had, around 2,000 events nationwide happening to really get the word out. A couple other ways that we get the word out is through digital communications. So our website, hemphistoryweek.com, is a great resource for educational materials as well as resources to host a event yourself, tools to help you plan, promote, have available the day of as educational materials for people who attend your event. Also through social media, we're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, a very strong presence year-round on each of those channels. And finally, we really engage the media, so print, broadcast, and online news sources. And we've seen a big tidal change in the media's response to industrial hemp in the last several years that we've been running this campaign, whereas for example, maybe Marie Claire or Shape, would kind of laugh at us saying, no, we're not going to cover hemp, we're not going to cover marijuana. What are you talking about? And we've done a lot to educate those news outlets to distinguish industrial hemp from drug varieties of cannabis to really show that, no, this is a mainstream product, and now those news outlets, as well as many more, are covering this issue. So it's been great progress. This year, Hemp History Week is June 5th through the 11th, and there's still opportunity to get involved. So pop over to our website if you have an event in mind, sign that up, and we'll be sure to help support with materials.
Well, I mean, that was such a amazing overview of what you guys, where you've come from and what you've covered, and I really appreciate the level of clarity that you guys have provided. And ever since the beginning of my hemp journey, which was over 15 years ago, I've been involved with Hemp History Week every year and have had the amazing opportunity to distribute all of the food, clothing, skincare products that you discussed, that you guys help bridge to these folks like myself that have hemp companies or are educators and want to get out there and provide materials to state representatives or farmers or, other business owners about the benefits and the value of hemp. And what I really love and I see as a major parallel or harmonization between Hemp History Week and Hemp Aware is that we've always been about the distinction between hemp and medical or recreational cannabis. And so that's such a major thing that I appreciate about Hemp History Week, is really making that clear line. Look, this is obviously two different things. And when we do that, I think it also reveals the truth about what the medical and recreational or spiritual aspect of this plant is. Those people that are doing that, and Hemp History Week is representing hemp, and Hemp Aware is representing hemp, and that side of this amazing plant. And all the materials are so amazing that you guys provide, the printouts and stickers. And so if you are listening to this show and it's before May, what's the cutoff date, Hemp History Week registration?
Well, we had a soft deadline on this past Sunday, May 7th, but we definitely still have plenty of materials to be able to send out to event organizers. So, certainly the sooner that you get your event in, the better, and the more support we can offer. But we'll be engaging folks to sign up events through the end of May. So, feel free to reach out. We have a great new events coordinator on board this year, Amber, and, probably best first place to look is on our website to get signed up there. Also, there's a ton of resources to help you get planning, but if you have any questions that you can't get answered through the website, hemphistoryweek.com, feel free to reach out to Amber at events@hemphistoryweek.com.
Awesome. So, Lauren, and I would also love to hear your answer, Nancy, what would you say would you be some of the best ways to celebrate Hemp History Week if you're not like an event coordinator? What would you do?
Sure. So if you happen to be in, I think this is a great question, in working, doing event coordinating with the program, people are so creative, and it's one of my favorite phrases is like grow where you're planted. So when people are kind of maybe feeling a little remiss if they're, say, in a state that doesn't yet have hemp laws, to allow for something, like a hemp spring planting, which would be an amazing way to celebrate if you've worked really hard on lobbying and worked really hard to get, the policy changes in your state to happen. A hemp spring planting is a wonderful way to celebrate. But if you're not quite there yet and you're still, really trying to, influence the conversation in the most positive ways possible, if, planning a Hemp History Week event obviously is a great way to do that. And you can do like a hemp film screening, a hemp cooking class, or participate in a hemp demo. But even if, the hemp community where you're at isn't quite there to support events like that, even just finding a way to share hemp with a friend, making hemp, a hemp recipe in your own kitchen, like hemp pesto. It's a really great spring recipe, spring and summer recipe, using different herbs from your garden along with the hemp seeds, the hemp hearts, to make, and some hemp oil to make some hemp pesto, or any other variety of hemp recipes that are out there. We do have some on our website. But then people can also, take matters into their own hands and call legislators. Aside from just reaching out, on a state level, people nationwide can take action with Vote Hemp and call your legislators. I mean, I know their phones are ringing off the hook for any number of reasons these days, but making sure that these public servants know that their constituents are concerned about the passage of the Industrial Hemp Farming Act, and that we want sensible hemp policy at the federal level to fully remove the plant from the Schedule of Controlled Substances, and also just in sharing the hemp education with friends and family, and just having one-on-one conversations, or maybe having a group of friends over or something like that to watch a movie or participate in some activity. We do some artwork on some to bring light to the conversation, and it's a really there's any number of possibilities for the ways that people can get involved and celebrate, and really just highlight the fact that at least 1 week out of the year we can bring this conversation to the forefront and let people know how we feel about it.
Absolutely. What great suggestions. I'm totally excited. One of the things I've done, which I've been like you, I'm sure you two have maybe got your hands in the soil a little bit more and getting your feet dirty. I love doing that. I just haven't had the opportunity to be a farmer or put seeds in the ground. I've been more on the front lines of education and marketing and things of that nature. But and I started out with lobbying and getting signatures, and kind of have evolved to different levels of engagement with this community. And there are so many levels that you can approach this, solution for humanity. And so thank you so much for that answer. Did you want to comment on that as well, Nancy?
Sure. I just have a couple comments to add on, but yeah, agreed. Those are all really good ways to engage, and a couple opportunities that are part of Hemp History Week through social media include the Twitter party that we kick off the campaign with every year. So mark your calendars for June 5th. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be creating a big storm on Twitter with a lot of experts in the industry answering questions about hemp technology, hemp nutrition, what's new on the policy side of things, and so forth. So that's a really fun way to engage. We also do some giveaways for those who are the most active during the live tweet hour. So yeah, if you want some free hemp swag, we have a lot of great brands that donate, really nice hemp products to be part of that giveaway. As Lauren mentioned, taking action through Vote Hemp, that's another giveaway opportunity that Hemp History Week supports to help drive action through Vote Hemp. So be sure you take action between June 1st and 15th. Of course, any time of year is great to engage through Vote Hemp. But in that June 1st through 15th window, we are doing another giveaway of hemp product from Hemp History Week sponsors to a lucky 10 randomly selected participants. And finally, if you're not hosting an event in your area but want to find one to attend, then we have a full event listing on the Hemp History Week website. So check that out and find something in your area.
Fantastic. Yes, I've already registered our event up in Weed, California, of all places, and we had a successful one there last year. We've actually been really, I think, doing a great job of educating and raising awareness to not only the current mayor of Weed, California, but the prior one. They're both very much on board with industrial hemp, and in fact, the town of Weed was named after Abner Weed, and Abner was a lumberjack. He owned all these lumber mills, and that's actually what Weed got its name after, Abner. But William Randolph Hearst actually owned a castle just about 20 minutes from Weed, California. So it's ironic that we're also reviving what Hearst kind of squelched many, many years ago with all his cronies. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah. So awesome. Those are such great answers. The next section of our show today is more about the history of hemp, considering that's really what we're celebrating, but also that we're making history, by getting out there and communicating our visions and our purposes and harmonizing that with the support of hemp. And so whether you're a business owner or, a musician or a store owner or a representative, there is one thing that you can do with hemp. And so Hemp History Week provides so many resources. But with regard to the historical facts, what are some of your favorite facts, you two? Whichever one of you'd like to go first about hemp.
Sure, I'll let Lauren share the first one. I think we're going to kind of popcorn this section back and forth.
Okay, great.
Sure, yeah. Well, the with regards to just the plant itself and the its utility, I think it's super fascinating that the first law of kind of the new world, as it were, of North America, 1619 required the settlers to grow hemp plants because it could feed them, clothe them, and shelter them. And with regards to how they were able to make it in the new world, they were able to use that. So the fact that it was the law, it was directed for them to grow the plants, I think that's super fascinating.
That is very fascinating.
Along those lines, pioneers who were traveling across the country, for better or worse, traveled in canvas-covered wagons, and that term canvas actually comes from the word cannabis. So they were traveling in cannabis-covered wagons. Similarly, it was because of the cannabis sales on ships that were allowed us to even get from Europe to the Americas in the first place, because it, anecdotally was the strongest fiber, that it was the only one that could withstand the passage across the Atlantic. Along these same lines, canvas in terms of artwork. So people were painting on cannabis, and also the oils used for the paint were made out of cannabis. So, definitely very deep roots in all of our history.
Most certainly. I'm going to get a little bit mystical for a moment on some hemp history that I've acquired over the years. And I would challenge anybody to, look into the validity of this. But one of my mentors, Michael M. with digitalhemp.com, showed me that in our history we can show that the Dogon tribe of I think it's West Africa, apparently claims that the cannabis plant comes from the star system Sirius. And ironically, the star system Sirius, or the star Sirius, there's Sirius A and B, it's in the constellation of Canis Major. And so Canis Major comes from, cannabis comes from Canis Major in Sirius. And Sirius has A and B, which is known as the two-dog star. It's the two-dog star. So cannabis, the word canna comes from canine, or canna, and then bis, as in a binary system, bis or bi, bi, meaning A and B. So cannabis is the two-dog plant, which comes from the two-dog star. It's very
cool.
Wow. Great. That's it. Kind of maybe to add to some of the fun, like, mystic ideas around cannabis, there is some really kind of beautiful sacred math to the plant, and one of the innovations with hemp that maybe we'll get to talk about some more of them a little bit later in the show, is that when you're combusting hemp, so one of these incredible innovations is that they're taking combusted hemp, and the leftover material from combusting hemp, they're able to layer into nano sheets, and these nano sheets are then compressed together to make supercapacitor batteries to actually hold energy. And if you look at these shapes at this material underneath a microscope, it has some very beautiful kind of hexagonal structure to it. Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. So it's fascinating just to kind of see how that correlates out to other patterns in nature that are found in the universe. So
most certainly.
Some of the more recent history that we're excited about include, I think it's safe to say that a lot of hempsters are also activists. So back in 2009, hemp farmers and advocates took an act of civil disobedience to make their point in terms of hemp not being a drug, not, needing to be removed from the Controlled Substances Act. So they were actually arrested for planting hemp seed on the DEA lawn.
Non-violent act of non-violent act of disobedience. Just wanted to add that, like a peaceful one.
Yes, yeah. And similarly, in 2012, David Bronner, who's the CEO of Dr. Bronner's, the Cosmic Engagement Officer for Dr. Bronner's, he was again arrested in an act of nonviolent civil disobedience to make a point on industrial hemp and related to Dr. Bronner's use of hemp oil in our body care products. So he locked himself in a cage in front of the White House with a nice sign directed towards President Obama, calling on President Obama to pass the Industrial Hemp Farming Act. And meanwhile, David was pressing hemp oil from a hemp plant, from the hemp seed in front of the White House. So another really interesting and exciting and engaging way to make history, get on the record that this plant is just like any other plant, and we deserve a right to be growing it.
Absolutely.
That's so fascinating. Like with like the history being made there of like the fact that, you know, people are getting arrested for, you know, being on federal property with the plant. One of the kind of fun recent hemp history things that was uncovered was that, 100 years ago, the chief botanist, Leicester Dewey, of the USDA was actually growing different varieties of hemp where the Pentagon sits today. And with those trials that he did and with those research trials, he was able to demonstrate that hemp is an acre of hemp produces 4 times the pulp necessary for making paper than an acre of trees that's growing within the same time frame. So with that, you know, kind of understanding that you know, the science behind that, you know, it's sequestering 4 times the carbon, it's converting 4 times, you know, the oxygen with the amount of biomass that it ends up producing within an acre. And those journals were also just recently discovered and were in care of the HIA. So the fact that it was on federal property, it was being grown on federal property, you know,
cool.
100 years ago is just, you know, kind of a wild thing to realize about all of it.
It really is. That's so cool. So we have about 3 minutes left, and that segues into my final question, which is, you know, in addition to Bronner's and Leicester Dewey, some of these, you know, historical leaders, who are some of today's leaders and inspirational activists out there that are representing and sponsoring the hemp movement?
Yeah, good question. I would say first and foremost, the campaign wouldn't be possible without the leadership of all of the hemp activists on the ground that are hosting events, are throughout the year educating their communities, putting pressure on policymakers to move all of this progress forward. And in the same token, we're exceedingly grateful to have the leadership of the Hemp Industries Association and Vote Hemp to help carve out the message and get clear on focal points of where pressure needs to be put to exact policy change. And in the same token, again, none of this would be possible without the generous support by our campaign sponsors. And as I've noted, the campaign's grown year after year. This year, our sponsors include, once again, Dr. Bronner's, Living Harvest Hemp, Manitoba Harvest, Nature's Path Organic, Nutiva, Pacific Foods, Plus CBD Oil, Farmer Direct Co-op, Onnit, Tree Free Hemp Company, Charlotte's Web Hemp, Evo Hemp, and Lady Jane Gourmet Seed Company. So there's others that support us through the media, through helping us create great materials. So many thanks to all of those who I didn't mention at this time. Many thanks to you, Tyler, for having us on the show to help us get the word out about this great campaign and how people can get involved.
My pleasure. It's been so fun. Thank you both for being here. This is your Hemp-trepreneurial host, Tyler Hemp with HempAware Radio. We're here to empower your hemposphere, focused on what's most important, and put emphasis on that. It's all about your dreams, your mission, your purpose, and doing one thing with hemp. So no matter what it is that you do, check out HempAware.com. Do one thing, hemp, and empower the world today. Thanks so much, everybody, and thank you both again. I look forward to empowering the world and seeing you guys in some hemp fields this season.
Thanks, Tyler.
Sounds good. Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right. Peace out, everyone. Blessings.
Peace.